is Ella and welcome to my channel. Today it will be my second video about the Yale cardigan here. I finally finished it and I was aiming to finish it before the Rhinebeck Ship and Wool Festival in New York, and it's going to be in 2 weeks and I'm so excited. It will be my first yarn festival that I will be attending. And I know it is pretty large festival, so I am hoping to see a lot of different people and yarn and animals and all the good and fun things. So the Yale, last video I mentioned at the end of the video that I'll be videotaping myself to how to do the shoulder. But I didn't do that because one, I forgot, and two, because it is a paid pattern, I didn't really feel comfortable showing you how to do the short rows and everything. So I'll just briefly explain what I did. But it was my first time doing all over color work and steeking and doing the stranded color work purlwise, so you have to do not a lot but some part on the shoulder you have to purl and do the color work, which was in my mind I thought it will be same but purling, but when I was actually doing it, it was really a little hard for me to keep the tension and catch the float at the same time in purl wise, so it was a little finicky and I didn't really like it. But most of the cardigan, oops, sorry, I just dropped my note. Most of the part is knit, so you knit in the round and then you stick the front and the armhole part, and then you pick up stitches around and then you knit down. So the whole thing, so the body part is knit bottom up and you're just knitting in the round like a big tube. And then when you reach certain part at the shoulder, you do some short shaping. If you follow the pattern, it was first time for me, but I could do it. I'll say that I am intermediate level. I'm not like expert or I'm not beginner. I'm somewhere in the middle. But you get the idea that it was my first time doing all over color work. I've done Birkin sweater. I've done Ella Gordon's Ola yoke, which had color work just in the yoke. So it was my first time doing the whole garment in color work and using almost like 10 different colors. But whenever you do the color work, you only carry 2 yarns at a time, so 1 background and 1 contrast. But yeah, so it was my first time doing the all over color work. It was my first time doing the steeking, first time doing the color work in the purl wise. So a lot of first things. I've learned a lot of new skills that now I am not afraid to steek. If I find some pattern that I like but that has steeking in the process, I think I'll go for it without hesitation, because I know if I use the correct yarn it's not gonna unravel. So yeah. Now I'm fearless, which is good. So I really love this cardigan and I really love the fit. I love the yarn. There's nothing I want to say bad things about the cardigan. Everything turned out really, really great. Even the front part here, like a button band, but it doesn't have a button, but I'll just call it button band because Normally, if you make a cardigan, this part will be the button band. So you'll have a hole on one side and you'll have buttons on the other side so that you can close the cardigan. But this one, if you want to like close it and secure, you can use like a shawl pin or like some kind of pin to fix it like this. But I think it will look great either way, open or closed, whatever you want to do. But I just like how it is right now, and I don't know if I find a really cute or pretty shawl pin, I might use it maybe from Rhinebeck Festival. If I find something good, I'll just buy one, but I don't feel like I need anything to secure the front part. So it's like kind of a cardigan but like a jacket, and I made it pretty, not too long. I mean, it's not long cardigan. I already videotaped myself just a short clip how it looks like the fit, and it's in my Instagram. So if you want to have a look at me showing off a little bit, you can go ahead and check it out. I'll link down below. But now I'm sitting on a chair and I'm not gonna stand up, but it's not long. It hits right at where my belly is in the front, and at the back it's a bit longer than the front. So, but it's not covering my bottom. It is just comfortable length, if you know what I'm talking about. So I don't really have to sit on my cardigan, because when it's long, you know, you kind of sit on it. When you sit down, the cardigan is like underneath you, but it's not like that length. It's shorter than that. It is very comfortable for me. And the only modification that I did was the sleeve decrease. So I didn't decrease at all. I did once when I was working somewhere here, maybe somewhere in the middle of this part. I decreased, just like knitted together just once to make the color work look more seamless, but it wasn't really necessary. So if you want to work just a straight sleeve, I think you can, and it's easier, right? So as long as you're following the pattern and you don't really need to worry about not decreasing at all. So yeah, that was the only modification. No, that's the modification for the sleeve. And one more, I kind of double knitted this button band part, that the pattern just goes here. I mean, you stick and then you pick up the stitches around the neck, the button band area like this, and then you knit the color work, and you have this 1, 2, 3 pattern going on, and then you, at the end of this third pattern, you do the most stitch, which is like knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and on the other side purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. But I didn't do that, and instead I was keep on knitting using this color, which is the background color over here, and I just did stockinette, like knit on the knit side and purl on the purl side. So I did extra knitting, so it was like this big, and then I just fold it over. I knitted until I was comfortable covering all the steeking part. So yeah, so like double the length. If you say, let's say this is like 2 centimeters or 2.5 centimeters. So I knitted more 2.5 centimeter. So in total like 5 centimeters long. So half of that with the pattern and half of that just plain stockinette. And then I just, like, as I was knitting, I just folded over, and so whether the pattern was showing okay, and it was enough to cover this part. So what I did is, you cannot really see the steeking part over here because I used the crochet to fix it. So in a way, the reason why I did this is because I was worried about the bottom part of the cardigan here at the corner rolling up like that. I didn't want it to roll up, so that's why I did the double layer. And also the good thing about doing this is to cover the steeking part, so I don't really see any of the kind of not clean finish looking garment if the steeking part is showing. But now I don't really see anything. It's just like seamless, very clean finished garment that you cannot really see any steeking here. So I'm really happy with how it's looking and how it turned out. And it was pretty easy for me to do the crochet part. I recorded myself how to do the crochet part because it was not included in the pattern, and I was kind of feeling more comfortable recording myself, that I don't really reveal or give away any of the pattern that is paid for. So I will probably insert the short video of how I did the crochet to hide all the steeking, yeah, and have it finished. So I do not have any problem this bottom part of the cardigan at the corner rolling up or even onto the other side. It's just flat, so it's double the layer compared to the other part. So this part is lighter and this part is a bit thicker, so it will just like stay put, which I love. And I was worried about the edge here on the sleeves, because when I was knitting it, it didn't really stay flat nicely like this, but after blocking it was okay, so no complaint there. And even at the end of the cardigan, it has the same moss stitch or seed stitch, whatever you want to call it. So knit per knit per knit per knit, same textured seed stitch or moss stitch, and they're not really rolling up or curling, tend to curl up or down, whatever, inside or outside, and it's just nice and flat, which I really like. Yeah, so it's done and I'm really happy. And I would definitely want to knit more garment that's all over color work. And on my first video, somebody commented that I've chosen nice colors that go well with each other. So I took quite a bit of time trying to figure out like what goes well with what, and which color I would like to choose. The reason why I chose different color from the original is because purple is my favorite color, so I wanted to do it in purple and white, that's for sure. And the original is like gray and white or cream, and I don't really like gray, so I was going for purple, and then I had to change the bottom part of the color work as well to go well with the purple color, which is kind of main bigger piece in the cardigan, so it'll just work well with each other. But the original is great. I love all the colors in there, and she's a genius, Wallin. She's a genius colorwork artist and knitwear designer. She's amazing. But it's just my personal preference of color choice that I did, and I like it. I really like it. Yeah. And after blocking, it just blooms so beautifully, this yarn from Holst Super Soft. So I ordered directly from Holst Garn, which is a Denmark company, I think. And the shipping was pretty fast, faster than I expected. And also I got them during like last year's Boxing Day sale. So it's already very affordable yarn, but it was even cheaper than the regular price, which was great. And I didn't really pay much for the shipping either, so I will definitely buy more. I think this year on Boxing Day I would like to try some different yarn. They have alpaca and other thicker yarns that I haven't tried, so I might order some. When I was blocking, I was just getting water in a container. So if you have some delicate garment, you put them in a mesh bag and you zip it, and then you put it in the washing machine, right? I don't know what's it called, but I have that, and I folded nicely the cardigan and then put it in the bag, and then I dipped it in the water, and then it's easy for you to take it out. When the cardigan is wet, it's very heavy, and you might accidentally spread some of the garment and make them like expand, or you know, accidents can happen. So it's better to have it in a bag, especially if it's a big piece garment like cardigan, sweater, long sleeves, or like a big shawl. I think it's better to put it in a mesh bag and then dip it in the water. So I did that, and then the water became kind of, I don't know why, but like brownish color. And then I just dumped the water and did the same thing over and over. So I was trying to, like, you know, move the bag up and down, try to soak it properly, and then rinse, and then rinse, and then rinse, and then until I see clear water. And then I did kind of warm water with a soak wash, and then put the garment in there for like half an hour, and then after that I just threw the water out, and using the mesh bag I was holding it, and then I was like kind of gently pressing and squeezing, not twisting of course. And then I asked my husband to like squeeze a little more without twisting it, so that we can get most of the water out. After that, I placed big towel on the floor, and then take the garment out from the mesh bag and put them nicely, and then I just put another towel over it, and then I was like just using my hand tapping, and then after that I think I was like stepping on the towel to get the water out, and then I just lay it nice and flat, and it was incredibly fast drying. I was really amazed, and it's because of the wool, like how they act, I think. And after blocking, it definitely changed. My stitches were like nice and even. Before blocking, I could see like several places where I can see some of the stitches were bigger than the other, or smaller than the other, but after blocking, everything just went, you know, nice and even, and I'm really, really happy. Yeah, so that was my Yell cardigan, and I did the edge with 2.75 millimeter needle, and I did the whole thing with 3.25 millimeter needles, and I casted on 358 stitches in total for the body part when you start the knitting in the round from bottom up, like a tube. So that was the smallest size, I think it was. And sleeves I didn't decrease. I mentioned that I used Holst Super Soft. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's my yell. And if you have any questions about making this garment, please write it in the comment section. I would more than happy to help you out if you have any trouble on the way, or even before making it, if you have any fear or trouble thinking about making it, just write it down at the comment section. I'll help you out as long as I can. So yeah, and one more thing. So one of the viewer commented as well about my pressed flower shawl that was behind me in my first Yale cardigan video. And I'm going to mention it briefly. So I made this more than 6 months ago, I guess. So it's been a while, and I'm using this whenever I sit down on my sofa, and whenever I feel chilly, whenever I'm knitting, I always have this around me like this. And somebody said, oh, you have nice pressed flower shawl there. Yeah, so I'm gonna look at my notes. So I used 3.25 millimeter needles, and in the pattern they asked you to use 4 millimeter, but I did 3.25 because of the yarn that I used. I've used Cascade Heritage as the main color, which is like a navy color right here, and the flower pattern color is Leo Roxy Young Curl. That's the contrast color. And I did follow the pattern as it is, and then I kind of ran out of yarn so I couldn't really finish the bottom part quite as the original. I had to just finish it before, yeah, because I didn't have enough yarn. And then I did I-cord edging all around, so it is quite small, smaller than the original, but I am pretty happy with it because it's just perfect size for me. If I'm sitting down, it's just like this, and it's perfect. I don't have to wrap around because it's just the perfect size for me to like this and sit and knit and feel cozy. And it was my first time doing the mosaic knitting. It was really fun, and it was really fun seeing those flowers, and first time using this yarn from Leo Roxy and also Cascade yarn. I've never used it before, so it was really fun. So that's that. Oh, and because I'm wearing something underneath here, I'll briefly mention about this this top, like a tank top. I made it this summer. It's called Maia summer top, and it has two versions. I did the one without the peplum. I don't know how to pronounce this, but you get to choose which design you want. I've used Knitting for Olive pure silk, and I used 2 skeins, 3.25 millimeter needles, and I knit to the size 2. And it is bottom up construction, so you do the ribbing, and then you do the pattern, and then you do front panel, back panel, and then you connect it with the strap. And I love the color as well that I chose for this Maia top, and I love the lace details here. I hope it helped you learning a bit about the Yale cardigan by Wallin. And next video I'll come back with some finished objects and maybe yarn acquisition, because I'm going to a yarn festival, and some other ideas. I have a lot of ideas. I just have to sit down and actually record myself. Sometimes I feel awkward turning on camera in my phone and record myself, but today I got courage. And because I saw some of the viewers left some comments in my first video. And in my first video that I kind of promised that I'll come back with a second video, so I did. So have a great day today. I hope to see you soon again, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.